Peace family, today is now day 3 of week 5 and we are going to be getting into undercoating the RV. Hang on a second.
Whew, that's better. Today is now day 3 of week 5 and we are going to be undercoating the RV. It is getting extremely cold. Fall is quickly approaching us and I want to make sure I get this done and get this out of the way before it gets too cold to do it. I'm also going to be away for a week in 2 weeks, so I won't really have time to do that, and then it'll be soon time to get this thing in storage. I haven't been able to find interior storage, indoor storage that's heated or anything like that, so I'm going to see about just getting a giant tarp and trying to convince my parents to let me keep it here in the driveway so that I can check on it and possibly do a couple things over the winter. But otherwise we're just gonna get prepared for what's to come, which is inevitable, the crazy snow and the freezing cold temperatures and all of that stuff. So other than the undercoating, I want to get a new door, just possibly even just a temporary one for the plumbing exit hole thing at the shower, and other than that, it's kind of just, I'm gonna let it run a few more times before I call it quits for the season, and we'll see what else I can get done. But it's currently looking like I'm gonna have to get majority of the big projects and all that stuff done next spring. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get started on undercoating this thing. I'm going to be doing all of the exposed underbody, whether it's metal or whatever, just to get a nice coating on there and protect it. And then I'm going to be doing some of the, pretty much all of the frame, and then we'll see about any other little components that I think might benefit from it. But I just need to avoid getting it on wires or any bushings or anything like that, because I don't want them to crust up. So yeah, we're gonna get going with that, and I'll give you guys a quick look at how it looks now. I'm not really gonna be able to record it while I'm doing it, but I'll give you a before and then I'll give you an after, and you'll be able to see how easy it is to really do this kind of stuff on your own. You don't need to try and take it somewhere to get it done professionally. I'm using an asphalt undercoating. It's nice and thick, and it's also resistant to like chipping and rock chips and stuff like that. It's not oily, because I'm not a big fan of the oil rust proofing. It's just super messy, and like when you're under there, you brush up against it, now you're covered in oil, and then you're taking it off and stuff. So this is pretty permanent. They have it in a regular asphalt coating, and then there's a rubberized one. But I'm going to be using the main asphalt one, and then if I need to, I'll use a bit of the rubberized one. But yeah, I'll give you guys a quick look now, and then I'll get that done, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after. I'll give you a rough estimate of how long it takes me. I've done this before for some of my vehicles, so I kind of know what I'm doing, but it's not something you need to be like super skillful at. Just be careful and don't make a huge mess. Unless you really don't care about making a mess, then just give her. But yeah, enough of me talking. Let's get to looking at the underbody of this baby. Alright guys, so as you can see here, this is where the bathroom is. We're starting on the back driver's side rear, and all of this is like just a thin metal, and this is all that's in between the insulation and the subfloor. So it's about 2 inches, that much. And then we have the frame. There's a bushing there, which I'm going to avoid as best as I can. And then this kind of stuff. This is for the hitch. Goes into the frame goes back. Then we'll come over onto the side, more of this stuff. And this isn't metal, so it doesn't really need to be done. I want to do this. It also needs to be secured a little bit better. That's for the fuel. And so come back down, Get over to the other side. There's more frame. If need be, you can peel some of this stuff off if that's presented to you as well. And then yeah, just this bottom, more framing. And then see these hoses and stuff? Gotta do my best to avoid that. I'll just get in as tightly as I can without getting them covered. This is gonna be a bit tricky, and as you know, old wires in the cold don't like to move very much, so I don't want to snap anything or whatever, so I'm gonna be as gentle as I can be. And then as we make our way up, so both sides are pretty much the same, it's just this tin. I'm definitely going to be doing all of that. I want to get the frame done first, and then we'll come back around and do the rest of it. But I'm going to just have the gas tank, the rear gas tank, and then the frame that comes up meets here on both sides. And then we're at the diff right now. Oh boy. Let's see if I can get through. Am I skinny enough? Oh. My face mask is in the way. Normally I can do that, but so then we have more frame here. Up there at the top as well. The primary gas tank. And then more frame at the top of that. And then I'll get a better vantage point to show you guys the front there, but there's a lot of framing here that can get done pretty easily. And then these are the brake lines, new brake lines that they installed, it looks like. And then I'll show you guys up at the front, but it's mostly braces, and then we get towards the drivetrain and a whole lot of wiring and stuff, so I gotta be careful there. And make sure I don't completely overcoat everything. And then this is the old generator box, but it doesn't have a floor on it right now. And it doesn't really need one for the winter, so I'm just gonna leave that project for another time. But yeah, that's a general idea, and I'll show you the front in a second.
Alright, so I want to start out by saying that when you're doing it from a lying down position under something like this, it is going to get very, very messy. I don't know if you can see it on my face, but I'm covered in asphalt. It's like a spray-on adhesive, and it hardens and it protects from rust, chips, you name it. But I got it on my pants, so much overspray. I got it on the back of the new generator door, which was kind of annoying. It even went through my gloves. So everything is going to be extremely dark. It'll be hard to see, but it's all coated nice and thick. Here's an example. And yeah, I got some overspray here on the generator door. And this was from spraying all the way back here when I did this portion here. Made it all the way there. And I was gonna wipe it off, but it's really hard to clean off. It's super oily when it's wet, and I would just be smearing it everywhere, so I figured some black dots on the rear of it. Rear side of it isn't the end of the world. No one's ever really gonna see it unless the door's open. And yeah, I just deciding not to be picky today. So here's some more. All of this is done. Obviously you can see streaks because it's drying some quicker than others. Did up on the top, all the way across, and then I did this piece up all the way to here, so just behind the gas tank. I did this piece and the front piece. I just didn't do these gas tank mounts because I didn't want to get it all over the gas tank, and it's not really part of the frame, so I wasn't too concerned about that. And then I didn't have enough to get up to this point, but I got to here and then all the way down on the inside. And then I did around this piece again, just to make sure it doesn't rust. I want to put a piece over this just temporarily for the winter. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This took me, oh gosh, I don't even know. I didn't check the time. I don't have my phone on me, but I'd say this took me 40 minutes, something like that. So I was really taking my time, make sure I did a decent job. This stuff gets everywhere, so you gotta be careful. I'm not gonna be driving this thing in the winter, obviously, but it's just nice peace of mind, and it'll keep it protected from any sort of oxidation, whether that's from the winter or from salty air when I'm at the beach. So I'm just gonna keep thinking about that while I freeze my butt off out here. But it's coming soon. So this is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like now. This is what it looks like in between. So hope that gives you a good idea of everything in terms of this kind of undercoating. It's literally just this stuff here. Dominion Sure Seal. It's a Canadian company. And yeah, I was wearing a full-on respirator, as you guys probably saw. Is definitely necessary. You do not want to be inhaling this stuff. It's like 65% VOCs, and it's, even now when it's drying, I don't have it on, and it's just a strong smell, and it's unpleasant and definitely not good for your health. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I might put a little update in a future video when I finish off the rest of this, but for the time being, this should give you a clear enough idea of whether this is something that you'd like to do for yourself or not. So the pros are, it has really good coverage. You can put it on thick and it will stay on pretty much forever, and it does a really good job at protecting the metals. The cons are, it smells terrible. It's extremely messy. It's gonna get everywhere, whether you plan for it to or not. And depending on how you're applying it, the method of application can be a little tricky. Yeah, it's just, I'd say the biggest downfall is that it's super messy, and the biggest pro is that it does a really good job at what it's supposed to be doing. So, and it's fairly well priced. It's like for 18 ounces or whatever, it's like 20 bucks or 25 bucks. So 3 of those, or maybe 4, would cover this entire vehicle. For a small car, just doing the frame, you maybe only need 1, maybe 2. So yeah, without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video and gave you a little bit of a guide and some information on what you're planning on doing for your RV if undercoating is something that you need or think is necessary for your situation. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys follow along on the rest of my journey. If you're new here, I'm planning on driving this RV that I've fully renovated, or almost fully renovated,
at this point in time. I'll be driving it from Canada, Ottawa, Ontario, out to British Columbia, and then down the Pacific Highway through Mexico and Central America to my final destination of Costa Rica, where I will be living and working in permaculture, among other things. I'll still be running one of my current businesses that I have out there, and whatever else comes about. So I will also be using this channel to post other travel stuff. For example, I'm going to BC in 2 weeks with my sister. It was kind of a last minute thing because someone canceled on her, so I'm taking their place, and we're going out for 10 days, and I'll be documenting that. So that'll probably be out before this video ends up being out, but you can look for that on my channel, and let me know what you guys think of BC. If you've never been, it's definitely somewhere you should definitely go to. If you're gonna come to Canada, I recommend either going to BC or like Halifax or something. There's not much here in mainland, so yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching. As always, remember to keep love in your heart. I'll see you next time. Peace and love, guys.